Wait, okay. Girl, as if. As, as if. Okay, none of this sounds good. You know what? As if the podcast. How about that? Hello, guys. Welcome to As If the Podcast with your host, me, Asia, my queen. That is me. That is she. I am where I want to be. How's everyone doing today? I am doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing all right. My uterus is going a little nuts. Yeah, the cycle is cycling, and I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life. I'm not gonna lie, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. How is everyone doing today? Today we are going to be talking about hateration, holleration in this dancery. We talk about that a lot on this podcast, and I sat there and thought about why this topic is so obviously so important to me. I think jealousy is so not only normal, but if it's not regulated, it's dangerous. We've seen people die, get badly injured, lose relationships. I mean, that's the least of the worries. I mean, I'd rather lose a relationship than die. But a lot of things happen in people's lives all because people do not know how to manage jealousy. They don't know how to get that feeling and put it towards something positive. I've seen so many situations involving myself and outside of myself where I saw relationships get torn apart because in reality someone is jealous of the other person. And if we know how to manage this feeling, if we are also honest about this feeling and destigmatize this feeling, we could solve a lot of the issues, right? Like, I'm sure this has happened to one of you guys, but has someone ever been jealous of you, but they, what they do instead of saying, listen, George, I'm jealous, they try to make up a reason to be nasty with you. And I think the reason why people mask it is because being jealous of someone, it's a feeling that's talked down on more than anything. And it's something that's so common. Like, so common. Especially because, like, I think majority of people are really insecure. Last episode on my Monday morning motivation, wow, say that 10 times fast, hard. Monday morning motivation. Okay. So at the beginning of the week, I posted a Monday morning motivation and I talked about how society profits off of people being insecure and not loving themselves. A lot of what this world is built off of is shame and getting people to hide who they are and be ashamed of who they are so they could play small, right? So they could play small and maybe not go for the job that they want. So they could play small and not demand the respect that they want. Most people let their insecurities consume them. And when that happens, they might see someone that may appear like they have things all together or they have something that the other person doesn't have. And that's when jealousy starts coming up. And then people start treating each other nasty when they have that feeling instead of saying, wait, this is my feeling. Why am I feeling this way? What is missing in my life that is making me feel this way? How can I correct this? They don't check in with themselves. They lash out on other people or to that person because of that feeling that they had. Like, oh, almost like, how could you make me feel this way? It's like, Listen, so I really want this feeling of jealousy not to be normalized. I don't want it to be normal, but I do want us, maybe I should say this, maybe I do want it to be normalized so that we're not all going around thinking that we're the only ones that feel this way. So there's something wrong with us. So then we keep it inside. And you know what happens when you keep something aside, it starts rotting out and you just want to lash out on these people when it's not her. She's not the one that's making you insecure. She's not the one that's making you feel this way. And little do you know, she could have the same feelings as you. She just packages it differently. I think we just have to have a lot more control of our feelings and know where they're coming from. I had a conversation with one of my friends months back, and I asked her if there was room for jealousy in a friendship. And that conversation stemmed from a conversation I had had with another friend. And she was saying, absolutely not. If she feels a friend is jealous of her in any kind of way, if a friend admits to being jealous of her in any kind of way, it's a no-go. And I could understand that, especially, guys, especially the news we have gotten. We have seen women gang up and jump girls because they're jealous of them. We have seen women gang up, act like they're somebody's friend, get them alone, and kill them. I've seen, I don't know these people personally, but we've seen it on the news. We've seen girls invite another girl to a party and she got attention from this dude. They gang up, they beat her up. Whole time she thought those were her friends. So I understand us being fearful of continuing friendships with women like that, or women who feel jealousy towards us. I understand us being like, okay, I don't know if this friendship could continue because of some of the shit that we've seen. And I just think that the reason those things had happened is because they had no control over those feelings, right? Like we have all day, we feel some type of way, right? But if we let those feelings go, or if we lose control of those feelings, who knows what the fuck we could do, right? Like if you feel sad, right? Like let's just say I'm sitting here and I'm like, I am sad. If I don't start trying to do something positive, if I don't try to turn that around, who knows how low it could get. You could go left and let it control you, or you go right and take it and be like, okay, where is this coming from? How could I fix it? How could I make something good out of this? It just depends on where you go. I just wish we could have more of a conversation about that. But there's been times that I've had proof that someone had no control over their jealousy towards me, and I continued a friendship with them. And it didn't end good. None of them friendships ended good. Let me just say that. We didn't box or anything like that. I do have a slight animosity towards these people. As time goes by, I'm having less animosity and more empathy for these people, but sometimes I get angry, okay? Especially because these are people that were really, really, really close to me. It's hard to admit when someone is jealous of you as well because it sounds gross, right? Like you almost, we've talked about this as well. You almost gaslight yourself and you're like, well, how could somebody be jealous of you? Like, who are you? You don't got this, you don't got that. But you ain't got to have this, you ain't got to have that for someone to feel animosity towards you. You ain't got to have the cars, the shoes, all that. And that's what was so crazy to me at the time when I first experienced these situations. It was like, Y'all, I'm just as broke as you guys. You see what's going on here, girl. You see it ain't all roses. So how the fuck are you jealous? But sometimes it has to just do with your character and how people and how you make people feel. That's a huge thing. That I think that more than anything, more than looks, anything. It's like cuz they're almost like why can't I make somebody feel that way? And I used to feel that way. Now that I think about it, I used to feel that way towards one of my friends because when she walked in a room, everybody wanted to talk to her. Everybody wanted attention from her. She became the center of attention. And I sat there and I wondered why it was her. I was like, why can't I make people feel that way? And I don't know what anybody else's situation is, but I think for me, it had a lot to do with the fact that I wasn't particularly the most nicest, well intentioned person. And I think it showed. So while she was just someone who cheered people on, she was happy for people, she wanted to celebrate people. That's the reason why everybody wanted to be around her because they felt good when they were around her. And I had to shift my focus because I thought it was about looks. So I was like, let me look good too. Like, what the fuck? Like let me look good so I can get all this attention. But more than anything, people want to feel good and they want to be around people who make them feel good. Maybe you need to be a better person. Maybe you need to make people feel better when they're around you. I see some people get opportunities that I'm like, okay, what is going on? And then you get to know them and or you get around them and you're like, oh, they make people feel good. People want to feel good. People walk around so fucking miserable. And and sometimes life could be so miserable for people. They want to fucking feel good. So they will choose to be around this person. This person gets in so many different doors and gets so many different opportunities from the universe, from other people because they give good energy. And I had to learn that the hard way because I was just like, why not me? Why not me? Yeah, it could be you, but you need to fix whatever the fuck you got going on inside. And that could be the issue because you keep saying, why not me? Be happy for other people. Celebrate other people. It will be your turn. But the why not me attitude is really going to prolong whatever it is that you're trying to do. Be happy for people, for real. So, yeah. Um, And I would like to say this too. I'm so happy I never turned into the girl who got so burnt out of relationships with women that I was like, oh, see, this is why I only have male friends because women are so much drama. Have you ever been friends with a man? Have you ever been friends with a man that ended up wanting to have sex with you? Now that is what you call drama. That is drama. Baby. Baby. You talking about drama? You talking about drama? Find out your guy friend has a crush on you and you're not interested in him. Baby. Okay. My God. One year I just went on a blocking spree where I was just like, listen, you tried to act like you just wanted to be my friend, but you really want this ass. You tried it. And not in a way where they just tried it and was like, oh, okay, respectfully, okay, you're not interested. It was like starting rumors about me and things like that. And I'm just not that type of girl. I'm not the type of girl that likes all the, oh my God, did he say that? Or did he say block, baby, block? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. And for a second, I was just Since I'm not that girl, I was just ignoring it instead. Like people would tell me, "Oh, so and so said this about you, so and so said that about you," and I was just like, "Oh, okay, all right," and still remain friends with these people. And because I knew it was because they felt um, rejected, and which you are, because I said no, and but it's okay to be rejected. That's another topic for another time. Men who can't be rejected and lose their fucking mind. But so instead, they on that hateration, holleration in that dancery, starting rumors, talking shit, all that, and I just kept ignoring it, kept ignoring it, kept ignoring it. Oh, I have empathy for you because you can't get this ass, and I would hate to want to get this ass and not be able to get this ass. Like, come on now. I would hate it. I understand. So I just kept having empathy for that. But then it got to a point, it's like, okay, nigga, you ain't my friend. All right, you ain't my friend. You are not my friend, so get out of my face. Just become one of those dudes that gets ignored in the DMs. Like, let me put you in that category. Because I can't allow you to have access to my phone number and my DM. Like, no, you're not my friend. Let me put you in the category where you belong in. So I have this one friend that told the guy that I was talking to that I had ate out my ex. Did I? Yes. But her cousin had just passed away the day before. So I felt like I was doing God's work. Who are you to get in between that, sir? And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, okay, why would he tell something like this? Why? And this is after he had given me little signs that he might have had like a little crush on me. And I was just like, gross. Like I was just so confused why he had told homeboy that. Like when homeboy oh my God. When homeboy approached me about it, he was like, yeah, so and so had told me that you had eaten out your ex. And I was like, I don't even think I said no. This was many years ago. I think I was like 19, 20. And he was like, um, yeah, he had said that you eaten out your ex. And I was like, what? And I think that's all I said. And he goes, well, you know what? Whatever. And we kept talking and I blocked my friend. And this is a friend that I was friends with for like 6 years. So, and him and I were like friends, homies. We're talking about spend the night at his house. I would sleep on his couch, him and his girl. And oh yeah, him and his girl had just broken up. So he was really hating. He was really hating, guys. But him and his girl would sleep in the room. I would be on the couch. We had just a really, really close relationship. We would always hang out after school, even when we went to college, hang out in between classes and stuff like that. We were tight. So the fact that he did that, I was like, okay. It made me feel weird too, because it's like, why would you do something like that? But then it was like, oh, okay, obviously you feel something, which, ooh. So the relationship got like really, 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 really weird. And I was just like, okay, you gotta go. You got to go. I understand why we have this ick feeling towards jealousy. It's weird to feel whether you're on the receiving side or you're giving it. It's weird. It's really weird. But what I would encourage you guys to do is check that shit. Like, if you feel like your friend is acting like that towards you, I recommend to check that shit out the door. I remember my mom would tell me to just say it. Ooh, hater. Okay, hater. But say it in a way that, you hear my tone. It's playful, but it's honest and direct. And that's kind of where I like to stay, right? Because I don't like confrontation. I don't like being like, you're jealous of me, bitch. I don't like that. right? I do not like that. It's really weird. So to be like, "Ooh, are you hating, girl?" I think it puts a light bulb in most people's head. You know, some people are fucking delusional. But in most people's head, it does put that light bulb up and be like, "Oh, let me adjust the way I'm acting towards this person. Let me see what it is that is making this person feel this way, or why did I say what I said?" You get what I'm saying? Cuz sometimes actions are just unchecked and people go through their life a long time with acting away, and sometimes they don't even know the impact of their actions. So check that shit. Check it. It is uncomfortable though. It is uncomfortable because you don't know where it could go. I need to have a conversation with someone that's long overdue for sure. I don't know how to say it. I don't know where to start. I don't know how this person's going to perceive how I feel. Um and I'm sitting on it. I'm procrastinating like a motherfucker. But if I want this friendship to work, and also if I want to honor myself, I have to speak up for myself. And it's weird. It is weird. It definitely is weird, but it's necessary. Um yeah. It's definitely necessary. Moving on, we are going to have a segment where one of the listeners or anybody following me on social media jumps in and weighs in on this topic. So I have the beautiful, the marvelous, the smart, the elegant Miss Callie joining me. And I ask her if there's room for jealousy in a friendship. So check it out. You know what? As if the podcast. How about that? All right, guys. So we are going to introduce Callie to As If the Podcast. Callie, thank you for being on. I was just telling her that she is the first guest for the relaunch of the podcast because when I first started, I had guests, and for some reason, I always got the vibe that some of my guests wanted to fight me. Like, I don't know, like, because when people hear the
No.
word podcast, they think it's time to debate.
Oh God.
Right. You know, because like a lot of the debate podcasts where, you know, you have a topic and then everybody gets heated and, you know, on
Oh,
No Jumper, you know, one person got punched and it,
no.
no,
Aggressive.
like I'm chill. So here we're going to uh have you just chime in on the topic, and we're going to talk about it. Feel free to go wherever you want to go with it. It doesn't matter. I just want to, you know, have some commentary about this topic. So do you think there's room for jealousy in friendships?
Jealousy. No.
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 Talk to me. Talk to me.
I definitely need like the term jealousy in itself to me is negative
Okay.
because you should never consider someone you should never be jealous of someone you love. You should always want them to have the best at any
Mhm.
point in time, and you should always be rooting for the next person because you will want them to root for you.
Yeah.
If you are looking negatively upon a person, then they really shouldn't be around you. And I guess jealousy would be like kind of considered like envious.
Mhm.
Uh, you shouldn't be envious of another person. To me, that's
Mhm.
very negative, and you shouldn't even want that in your life where you're questioning why the next person has something more or better than you.
Mhm.
You should never be questioning that.
So you're
So,
sorry.
uh,
So you're saying that if you love someone, it's impossible to be jealous of them, or you shouldn't be jealous? Cuz I think maybe cuz the feeling of jealousy I think is so normal, right? Like to be jealous of someone, it's just I think it's just an indicator of like someone having something that you want. And
yeah.
I think maybe acting on that jealousy is where things go bad, when you
Hmm.
act negatively on that feeling. So do you think the initial feeling is where it's like or do you think if someone acts on it is Like where do you draw that line?
I draw a big line against it. I think that jealousy is a negative feeling towards another. Honestly, um, um, because when I look upon a person who has or is receiving something that I don't have, I would never say I wouldn't want that person to have that, you know? It's more like I can
Mm.
see I can see where I'm like, well dang, how'd you get that? You know what, I'm real proud of you for doing that, or real happy for you to doing that. I'm a rooter. I will root for you. I want you to have the best. But for me to be jealous and question why you have the blessing that you have, that's where I find it kind of negative to have those thoughts, because they can bring about um bad thoughts basically towards that person. You
Mm.
would kind of want ill intent for them because they received what they have that's not yours.
Yeah.
So jealousy to me is real negative. I really like,
Mhm.
I would always be happy to be around a beautiful, blessed person, because that
Mhm.
kind of and person will bring about that for you, you know?
Yeah.
Like happier the next person is, the happier you will be as well. You want to
Yeah.
surround yourself with people who have more and receive more than you at all times.
Mhm.
So for jealousy, I kind of I don't really see how that would be positive.
Something, yeah, like, okay, so let me do something. I want to look up the definition of envy and the definition of jealousy because, like, I don't, let me see if they're like one in the same. If, okay, so is a feeling of discontent or resentful
Whoa.
longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. So that shit, like, yeah, that's like you're most likely going to act on, yeah, on some like, have you seen the movie Single White Female? It's old as shit. Like my mama had me on it. So like it was a girl, like I mean, there's been like up to date versions of that movie, but it was like a girl, she befriended this girl that she thought was like so pretty or whatever, and then she started dressing like her, being like her, doing all this shit, like trying to kill her, trying to like kill a bunch of people that were around her, like her friends, I think her boyfriend or her husband or whatever. But like there's a lot of movies that are like that. I'm probably like mixing all of them together, but
Man, I
that
just
sounds like envy. So okay, so what is jealousy then? Like,
yeah.
okay. The state of feeling of being jealous. Okay, so it's jealousy is just the feeling. It's never the action.
Okay.
So envy is like following through. Like maybe okay, so Callie's a model, guys. Like I mean, clearly, okay, let's be fucking real. But like, let's just say, you were gonna audition for something, and I was jealous of, you know, I don't know, jealous of where you were at. I don't, I'm bad example. I think it would just stay in that feeling. But if I was envious, I would probably go to the people that you were auditioning to and be like, oh, did you know that?
So negative stuff.
Yeah. So get in between. Cause like, I don't know, like I just look at jealousy as like something that's so normal. Like,
Mhm.
have you ever been like jealous of like, you know, maybe like your boyfriend or whatever your preference is? Like, have you ever been jealous like when you know someone like in their picture, like, you
I
know?
mean, that's so hard. No, I mean it's not about like
He said, "I
jealous.
can't relate to you, bitches."
I like that 100%. I'm like, dang. Don't get me wrong. I'm always like, dang, where they get that from? Let me find out. Oh, you look really good. But like, I just wouldn't use the term jealousy, like because I would never want what another person wants. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm very content with myself,
I
because I know I have
never,
my
guys.
insecurities. But I would never want to be what another person have. I don't really think highly of others, in any given sense. I would always consider someone to be on my similar level, you know?
Ooh, okay. So you don't look down, but it sounds like you don't even be looking for real. Like they'd be like,
Uh,
"Oh, look what I got." You be like, "Oh, that's cute." Okay, you know,
mhm,
I'm doing my motherfucking thing. Okay,
yeah.
so like, okay, I like this because I didn't know it was gonna go this direction. But like, so let's just say there was, because okay, I have this perspective because I had a friend that I consider a really good friend. Like, good friend, has a really good head on her shoulders, just a dope fucking person. Like, I love her. And she came to me and told me that she was jealous of me.
Mm.
And I started to feel like she was like there was something wrong because she was treating me differently for a little bit. Like, she wasn't really replying to like my text messages, not really trying to hang out as much, things like that. And I was like, okay, like, did I do something? And she came to me and told me that that's how she feels. So what would you do in that situation, because you think so highly of this person, but this is how this person obviously sees themselves.
Mm. I would definitely talk to them about how they feel about themselves 100% and ask how we can come together to become better people. Like we should always be
Mm.
helping each other in a way. As my friend, I would want you to be honest with me. I wouldn't want you to sugarcoat anything. Like tell me where I could improve and how I could help you as well. So I would definitely talk to her about where she feels like she stands in her life and where I can fit in to help her with that, you know? Like if you want anything that I have or if you want a similar lifestyle, we can do it together. Like, you want to go to the gym, you want to do photo shoots, you want to start your YouTube channel, like I will push you to do that every day. Like don't ever look at me and question why I am the way that I am. You know, it should definitely be a place coming from a place of love. I feel.
Guys, I love her. Oh my god. Wow. Like, okay, so then this is not a friend that you would cut off then.
No, I wouldn't cut her off because I have days where I don't feel like 100%. I do try to reach out my hand to a person if I do feel less than. But when it comes to, I always put that on me. Maybe I put a lot of pressure on myself. If I'm feeling down about myself, I am looking for ways to improve
It's your
myself.
responsibility.
My responsibility is not anyone else's responsibility. I can't really put that on somebody else because it's my life that I'm living. Like
Mm.
I'm lacking, it's because I'm lacking. Like no one could really put you in a place where you can be the best version of yourself. You can only do that. So
Yes.
that's always trying to get to that place of where questioning myself, or why would I feel this way, or why am I angry towards this person when I should have love for them? How can I work on that? You know, I always try.
Mhm.
I don't really like to put those feelings on another person. That's a lot of pressure
Mm.
to put that on someone else. So
Yeah,
100.
it's especially in the sense that I was telling you, because like when you have those feelings towards somebody, it's human for you to act on those feelings, and maybe you don't even know that you're acting on them, but you are being a little more distant, you are maybe snapping on them, short-tempered, and this person's like, what did I do? Because that's exactly what I was doing. I was questioning what kind of friend I was. Like, I was looking at every time we communicated, like, okay, did I say something that I shouldn't have said? Was my tone off here? Da, da, da. And nothing was about me.
Oh, then yeah,
Nothing
that's
was about me. And that's where I felt a little like upset with her. Like, I wasn't upset with her for the way she felt. I was more upset for the way she went about the way she felt.
yeah, how she was treating you.
And yeah, how I was, and maybe like you said, maybe I'm just too hard on myself. Maybe I could have been in a state where I was like, this is on her. I did not do, you know what I mean? Like, why did I be like, oh, what did I do? Like, why? Come on. Like,
Yeah.
that's not my responsibility to comb through every interaction we had.
Yeah, I've 100%. I have been in a similar situation with one of
Mhm.
my old friends. She was kind of in my friend group as well, and it was directly targeted towards me because I'm the nicest. I'm such a nice person. I like being a nice person. I'll never change. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I would always question her. All my other friends were like, "Cut her off. She got to go." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "We show each other grace in this group. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to ask her what's wrong and why she is pushing herself away from me. And it took another person telling me exactly what she was saying about me for me to understand exactly where she stood as a person. She considered her not our friend. She did not consider herself to be my friend. She, after she had been in my home, stayed with me. We've been friends for the longest of time. She did not consider herself to be my friend. And that's when you have to accept things as they are at that point. You know, you can't really change how a person is or how they feel, you know? So I had to
Yeah.
let her go, and it was really hard for me to let her go because she was really close to me. And I honestly put her in situations where I wanted the best for her, and she that kind of worsened. The more I did for her, the worse it came back on me. So
Mm.
I really had to learn that some people they you just gotta let them go.
Yeah.
Like Caesar said, I gotta go.
Oh,
Go.
so
That's
like,
about
what how do you maintain your way of treating people when you get treated in that way? Because sometimes people be like, well, I'm just gonna be a bitch now. I'm
yeah.
just gonna be like, fuck these people now. How do you maintain who you are?
I definitely learned that. I put people in that situation that they have to be a bitch to me. 100%. You have to show me who you are before I actually get it because I will never change. I went through a period of time where I questioned why I am the way that I am and why
Mm-hmm.
I always am so kind to people, why I can never be rude. I can never walk in a room and be a bitch to a person. I can never walk in a room and just look at somebody crazy. I don't have that attitude. I'm just not built like that. Not
Yeah.
everybody is built like that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I had to really I recently learned now that I'm an adult. In high school I was bullied for it. But now that I'm an adult, I
Okay.
learned I will attract the people who I am most like. And I'm perfectly fine like that. I will never be a bitch. I don't want to be a bitch. I'm not a mean or spiteful person. I don't know how to be a mean or spiteful person, and you can't force that out of me. So instead of me trying to change it, I just kind of accepted it, and me accepting me accepting it made me build stronger bonds and made I'm around better people.
Yeah.
I find myself to be around successful, positive people
Yeah.
instead of questioning why I'm not around someone. I don't question that because they are where they are for a reason.
Where they
And
yeah. So like, okay, so I hear a lot of people say that they're nice, but in reality they just lack boundaries.
cool.
How do you remain nice and have boundaries? And like how do and if you didn't have them before, how did you get boundaries and remain nice? And if you don't have them now, to talk to me how you don't have them now.
Like define for boundaries for me, I definitely have set some in place. I don't let people get as not as close, but I definitely do look out for the signs, such as them speaking ill towards their friends or how they interact with when others are around. I try not to let someone who is comfortable being rude to the next person because of how they look get into my circle. Like, I guess I really do like to stay to myself. I'm kind of a major introvert in that way, but I attract everyone as an air sign or as who I am. I can attract all types of people, but who I choose to keep around is they kind of like fly off on their own for real. Like you'll really find out the type of person that I am by being around me, and you'll see what I can tolerate and what I allow. And I think that they kind of just leave on their own once they
Yeah,
find
they're
out.
kind of like, she's not
Um,
gonna be with the bullshit, so let me just
yeah,
pack my bags.
exactly. Callie my friends will stick up to me. Callie's not gonna do that. She's not gonna go there. She's not gonna do that. And I stand firm in myself before I let anybody else change me or sway me away from what I think. Um,
Mm.
I'm
So
not 100 all the
you're
time
good
though.
at vetting people into your life. You're good at like keeping good people, and you believe in the fact that bad people, quote unquote bad people, or people who practice bad behavior
Mhm.
will see themselves out.
Yes. Oh wow, you defined that very well. Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
and honestly, like you taught me something new because like I there's some people that I want to cut off, but like I'm like, how do I talk to them about this? But I think because the reasons why I want to cut them off, girl, are some like crazy ass reasons. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, she didn't call me back yesterday. It's like this bitch be stealing, this bitch be like, or
Here we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm a very, very huge advocate on seeing the way people treat other people because
Yeah.
they'll treat you nice, maybe because they they can get something out of you, whether it's status, money, I don't know, whatever that is, but they'll treat somebody that they don't feel like they could get anything out of, they'll treat them like shit. And those are the people I don't want to be around.
Absolutely not. That's
Yeah.
not like how you that's not how you can live your life the best way you can. I get what you're saying 100% because when people come into my life and they're kind of like that, once they're around me, they'll kind of stop being like that. Either they will continue to be like that and leave, or they'll adapt to my mindset. And I like to think that I have a strong mindset in that way because you won't be around me acting like that 100%. You
No,
would be comfortable doing that around me, and you shouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Period. Like if you're a good person, you will find that out about a person. You will see if they are a good person. They will show themselves because I know people go through stuff in life that can change them, but if you're a good person, you'll always be a good person. I think 100%. So even I've been around people who've done bad things, but they've shown me that they're good people.
same.
That's
Yeah, same. Every day I do something bad.
yeah, for real.
every but I think oh you said something that really hit me and I want to bring that up. Oh shit. Never mind. Fuck it. Oh my
All right.
god. Oh my god. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. Um, like there are some people that I feel like I could sit here and admit that have cut me off. A lot of people don't like to admit when they've been cut off, okay?
Look it up.
But
Mhm.
but like there's some people that I'm like, whoa, like I thought this was gonna be a great friendship. Like,
Yeah, I know. I had some
what
like that.
happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I with this conversation, I'm seeing that like people see themselves out of your life. Because
Mhm.
they have been people like that I've been like, oh, she's not like I don't like saying people are jealous of me sometimes. I don't like saying that because it sounds like arrogant, like, oh, she's jealous. But it is what the fuck it is. Like I'm a good person. I'm a solid person.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of great qualities to me. And um those when I get that feeling that someone's jealous or whatever, there's been times where one day they just stop talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They have
okay.
a voice. They can't get to you. They're trying to get to you, and they want you to blow up on them so that they have a reason to leave.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give that to them because we know
I'm
like
not. I'm not gonna give you a reason not fuck with me because I'm just so like I'm so cool. Like I'm such a not a passive friend because that kind of seems like you could just throw me around, but I'm a friend that I'm understanding. I
exactly
understand when you can't call me back. I understand when you can't show up to something.
busy.
There's no reason, right? Like, so wow, you've taught me so much. And we only have 1 minute left. Okay. But like you've taught me like so fucking much.
But
Wow.
here's this conversation.
Oh my God, I think I'm gonna stop grieving about this friendship because girl, I've been fighting for my life about this one friendship.
Oh, it's time to go. Like
It's time to go.
like Caesar said, like when you're that type of person who you'll invite everyone, it's just people that choose to stay that you'll be able to have a long-term friendship with,
Yeah.
they'll stay for a reason.
Yeah. And like
Mhm.
Scissor said, I wish you well. I wish you well.
Absolutely. I wish you
So
the best.
where could everybody find you, Miss Callie?
My Instagram is _CALLIE love LOVEE.
Okay.
Cali.
Callie. Okay, perfect. And then TikTok is
It's _Cali. It's long. I'm gonna have to show you. It's
okay.
California XCX. I don't know why it's so long. I tried to change it, but that's it right there.
That's all right. I will put like the link to all your social media in the description on the podcast app and on YouTube. So we gonna get that together. Thank you
Right.
so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I think we gonna be friends.
I do too. I've been waiting.
No, girl, no. Okay,
Y'all
so can we talk?
trying to be my friend for a year now.
Can we talk?
Yes.
Yeah, because like okay, so when we first talked about like I think it was over DM. It's like yeah, like we need to hang out or whatever. I was in the stage where I started to get scared of people.
Oh yeah, I feel that. Listen, Instagram and TikTok here, I get it. Like
I
that.
I started to get scared of people for a little bit, and my feelings was getting hurt back to back and shit like that because of the friendship thing that we were just talking about. So, yeah, I'm gonna text you.
Oh, please do. I really like 100%. You got
Okay.
the vibe all day.
Yeah, and I
Like,
got you. Okay. Thank you so much again. And guys, follow Callie. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye
hi,
bye.
having me.